Imagination Gallery. Thank you for joining. I'm so happy to see you all here today. Now I would like to introduce today's topic. Today, our Indian Heritage Painting series, we will experience the special painting of the most special day in Indian history, Independence Day special painting. So, if you are new to this unique painting session, be with us till the end, because there is always a story behind every painting. Friends, here's coming the most important day of Indian history, Independence Day of India. So, it cannot be anything else than Independence Day painting for today. All decked up in tricolor, here in the painting, we see the people, the atmosphere and everything. We are protected by our respected soldiers and a few national symbols as well. Seems pretty cliche, right? Well, simple yet elegance is what sometimes needs to be followed. Freedom, after all, my friend, freedom is what we all need. Have we achieved that? Time to ask, between all cliche and all unconventional things, the freedom of mind is what we seek. The erstwhile British Empire kept India as its colony, friends, almost 200 years and plundered the wealth and splendor of this country. And that we all know. The Indian subcontinent, which was once one of the richest lands in the world, lost all its glitz and glamour as the British administration reduced the country to a poverty-stricken land. India gained its independence on August 15, 1947, but that too came at a heavy price, the partition. The British, before leaving then undivided India, cleaved the land and formed India and Pakistan, with Bangladesh then a part of it. The independence of our country, friends, did not come easily. It took the blood and sweat and sacrifice of innumerable freedom fighters. And of course, the unsung heroes, at times be the leaders whose ideals delineate the Indian value system. Come on, let's today hear a different Independence Day story. Friends, it is not often that one comes across a woman as courageous as Matangini Hajra. She was born in the small village of Hogla near Tomluk in the then undivided Bengal on October 19, 1870. In 1930, she took part in civil movement and was arrested, but was released soon after. She went to jail again after protesting for the abolition of salt tax. And of course, Binoy Badol Dinesh. Binoy Basu, Badol Gupta and Dinesh Chandra Gupta. Three people who have found an immortal place in the history of Indian freedom struggle as Binoy Badol Dinesh. On December 8, 1930, the three young men did something that became a legend, a tale which has inspired every subsequent generation. It was the 8th of December 1930. The Writers' Building in Kolkata, the administrative nerve center of the city, the capital during British rule, was bustling with activity as usual. The calm December day was suddenly disrupted and mayhem ensued. Three young men dressed in European attire came from the shadows and opened fire from their revolvers. They were after Colonel N.S. Simpson, IG Prison, Calcutta. Although the British managed to overpower the trio, the men refused to surrender. Badal Gupta immediately ingested potassium cyanide, while Binoy and Dinesh shot themselves point blank with their firearms. Binoy breathed his last in a hospital on December 13, 1930. Of the three bravehearts, only Dinesh survived. Convicted, he was sentenced to death by hanging for anti-government activities and murder. He was martyred on 7th July 1931 at the Alipur jail, aged 19 only. Friends, Surjo Sen is a somewhat forgotten name in the annals of the Indian freedom struggle. Sen is not a much applauded name of the Indian independence movement, even though he was a nightmare to the British rule in the late 1920s and the early 1930s. Master Da Surya Sen formed a group of 63 young, passionate revolutionary and raided the Chittagong British Armory on April 18, 1930. He was from Noapara, Chittagong, modern-day Bangladesh, and he was a school teacher. On April 22, 1930, thousands of British Army personnel caught up with them on Jalalabad Hill and engaged in a brutal standoff, resulting in the death of 12 revolutionaries and 80 British Army personnel. There are reports of how his bones, limbs and joints were shattered by a hammer, in addition to having all his nails torn out. Despite all the torture, Sen's spirit never broke. Irrespective, it's the spirit, courage, sacrifice and ideals Sen stood for that has preserved his legacy. Profullo Chandra Chaki. He was partner of Khudiram Bose in the Kingsford Association attempt. On the evening of April 30, 1908, they were waiting in front of the gate of the European Club for Kingsford carriage to arrive. When a vehicle came out of the gate, a bomb was thrown into the carriage. But he was not there. The Kingsford was not in the vehicle. Instead, it was carried the daughter and the wife of another European. Both were killed on spot, and the revolutionaries fled on separate routes. Khudiram was captured by the police, but Profullo committed suicide by shooting himself when the police tried to arrest him. He died on May 1, 1908. He was only 19 years old at the time of his death. Friends, no matter how many ways, how many times it is said, some things always remain unsaid when it comes to stories of the freedom struggle. This August 15th, 2022, India will celebrate 76th Independence Day, completing 75 glorious years of independence. And also remember the 200 years old struggle for freedom of our countrymen. The most famous freedom fighters, undoubtedly we all know, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Bhagat Singh, Mahatma Gandhi and so on. But there are other fighters also who contributed to the independence movement, but their names faded into the darkness. There are so many freedom fighters who looked into the eye of the tyrannical British rulers and dared to raise slogans of an independent India. Some are celebrated all across the world among the Indian community, while there are others whose name, despite being worthy of all the glory that there is, remain anonymous to the masses today. This video, my dear friends, is dedicated to all those lamps of darkness who lit up and burnt away forever to make a path for the better India. Let's celebrate all the color of life with Imagination Gallery. I hope you liked and enjoyed today's unsung heroes celebration of Independence Day painting. So if you like our unique painting session, then do not forget to subscribe our channel. Wishing you an inspiring week and weekend. Happy Independence Day. Bye for now.